A very good evening to you. Thanks for joining us on the Friday edition of the show. I'm Yemi Adebayo. As usual, let me give you a quick rundown of what to expect on the show tonight. World Football Governing Body FIFA is thinking about making the World Cup a 2-year event. They're looking at it, some feasibility studies going on right now. We'll talk about that on the show tonight. French President Emmanuel Macron has committed to attending the Tokyo Olympics. So it appears governments around the world are, supporting Japan in what is going on right now to ensure that the Olympics is held. We'll talk about the Super Falcons. We'll talk about the CAF Confederation Cup. Nigeria's representative talking about Ayimba have a mountain to climb. Pyramids, the team they're going to be playing against in the second leg, already in the country. So we'll talk about what's going to happen in that one. Nigeria Professional Football League will get us talking. Nigeria National League would also get us talking. We'll talk about all of that, all for you on the show. Then the big games in Europe that will decide 18 or 2 in La Liga title will be decided in England. Is for the teams that will play in the UEFA Champions League. Last set of matches to be played is the final day. So we'll talk about that as we move on the show. And we will not forget our countdown to the Olympics. We'll do that for you as well. And there's a question that has been in the air. A lot of people have been asking, who has the right, who has the power to cancel the Olympics if it gets to that stage? We'll try to answer that question tonight on the show. So that's it. All right, let's bring you into all that we're doing on the show before I introduce my partners tonight. That's how you can do it. It's right there on your screen, Sports Tonight at channelstv.com. Send us a mail. Drop your comments on Facebook, Channels for Sports. And of course, you can tweet at us at channels_sports. Let us know how you feel about all the things happening in the world of sports. Let me quickly introduce my partner in the Lagos studio. I have quite a number of guests on the show tonight, but first, Iken Okechukwu joins me. And greetings to you, Iken. You were missing last week, but you're back here again.
I'm back in full force.
Yeah.
It's good to be here. Yeah. And the leagues, La Liga, and most of the major leagues are going to end this weekend. Going to wind up this weekend. And we're going to see maybe new champions in France and in Spain. Possibly, who knows? So it's going to be an exciting show. It's going to be an exciting weekend, and we look forward to it.
And of course, I'm very sure you're thinking about the Imba as well.
my mind has to be there.
Yeah, a lot of us.
It's going to be do or die.
Yeah, a lot of us thinking that. Want to start the show differently tonight. We want to start talk about grassroots football. Want to look at what's going on in a particular section of the country. We have joining us tonight on the show, we have the Ekiti State Football Association Chairman, Bayo Olanlege. He was on the show a while ago, but he's back here. He joins us. So let's have this conversation with him. Greetings to you, Mr. Olanlege. Thanks for joining us on the show.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
All right.
How are you doing?
You're speaking to Yemi Adebayo, but it's good. The last time
Yemi, how are you doing?
No, I understand.
My apologies,
no problem. So the last time you were here, you were talking about the abundance of talents in Ekiti State and your plans to ensure that you discover and nurture these talents. And that's why you're on the show tonight. You made a promise. You even invited us to one of the competitions that was going to be held. I don't know if eventually it was held. But of all the things that you planned to do, were you able to do most of them?
Yes. We've been very lucky, especially with the support we have from our friends from the media sector. It has helped us to sell most of the products that we are cooking. I used to like to call all of these our competitions products. And once we have been able to see buyers to it, then it's been easy for us. We had we have the under 13, under 15, we plan the under 17, and then for the senior ones, all of these products needs to have people that are buying to, them. The under 13, we were very lucky to have the family of the late Oba Ademola Jakai, buying into it and sponsoring it. And then we already have about 23 boys of the under 13 categories that will be playing in the baby bees, that will be taking all over Nigeria, playing friendly matches with their colleagues so that they can hone their talent and, be better. And now we'll be having the finals of the under 15 football competition. And now the interesting part of this is that we have the girls coming in. So it's the under 15 football competition for boys and girls being sponsored by the family of a renowned professor,
Okay, it's
the whole
good.
good part of it is
sorry to cut in.
The good part of it is we are having, we have people that are putting their money into these products we have.
Okay, I find it strange you're calling it products. Well, anyway, but we the other time we talked about this discovery of talents and ensuring that you get them to the next stage. You also talked about the kids that you expect to be at the China Skills Cup. Unfortunately, because of COVID-19, we couldn't do that. I'm particularly interested about what is happening at the grassroots, because there's a lot of focus on, we want a club in the States to be in the Pro League, we want a club in the state to be in NLL. That appears not to be your focus. I think I like that. But for the grassroots, you already talked about under 13, the boys and girls. What about schools? What about schools? I'm really interested to hear, because you said a lot the last time you were here. I'm really interested to hear what is happening with regards to schools, with regards to, football through the school system.
We have different sectors, right? We have the sports sector, the education sector, and there has to be a synergy. We need to have where we agree to work together. Of course, we're with the Ministry of Education, and we do understand their point in the area of this is the third time, and we can't allow kids at this particular time to, concentrate too much on sports. Well, I just want to believe that the next edition of our underage competition will be played in schools. Honestly, we would like that.
Okay, that's good to hear. So let's talk about you talked about the other time. You talked about the states planning, not to jump into things, but gradually get teams into the cadres of the football in Nigeria, and hopefully get it to a point where you would have a team in the top flight. So that journey has it begun, and in what number of years do you think you get to a point you say, okay, now your state as a team in the top flight?
You see, you heard me mentioning products. So I look at football more as business rather than, just the PR angle of it. Government funding sports, in my own, my own angle is just for PR. And when most people that wants to do business want to make profits. And there's no way you can actually, football business cannot thrive when there's no football culture. People need to want to buy jerseys. People need to want to pay to go watch, live matches. But you can't go watch live matches when you don't have anything that bonds you with, the club you support. I buy Arsenal kits. I buy, other foreign clubs kits. Why? Because I have a bond and I have something that sentimentally attached me to all of those clubs. So if we, in my own opinion, if we can have a football culture, then you can see people coming in from villages to towns just to come and watch a football match for 2 hours. So that is our own idea, to take football back into the grassroots. And these days, parents love their children. So tomorrow, I'm very sure lots of parents will come just to watch their children play in Ekiti from all nook and crannies of Ekiti State. and that is the way it should be. Irekwadun Felodun local government has qualified, for example, and Irekwadun local government has more than 12 towns, 12 villages. And all of these boys that will be playing for Irekwadun Felodun will be from all of these villages. And you will bet that they're going to charter, buses. It's just that we are using COVID-19 protocols and we have to guide a whole lot of, about too much crowd and crowd control. But still, you are still going to have lots of parents coming because they want to come and watch their boys play. And if these boys in 4 or 5 years get to play for Ekiti United, of course, they will buy the kids, the number of their children, and they will pay to come inside to just watch and take picture with their kids. And that is how we are going to make money, and that is how the business is going to thrive. So the number one thing is to create a football culture, then we can do more business. And that is what we are trying to do in Ekiti football.
Let me ask you this, boy. I'll let you go. And talking about stimulating interest, because that is needed to achieve some of the things you want. From this point, we're having this discussion to the point where you want things to be, like you have rightly described, you've painted that picture. How long do you think it will take to get to a point where parents are ready to pay to come and watch their kids? All of this environment you want to create. I'm very sure you are not there at this very moment, but how long do you think it will take? Putting in mind all the things that we're surrounded with.
All I have to do, by May 28th, next week Friday, I'll be 3 years in office, and we have a 4-year term. We have 4 years time, right?
Yeah, 4 year term.
My own major focus, yes, that is what I have to focus on, my 4 years. And I know that the 15-year-olds, now, we started last year, and we have 17-year-olds right now from the last year 15-year under 15 competition. So I know in the next 3 years, our 17-year-olds are going to be 19-year-olds. And some of them will be playing in Ekiti United, and that to me is good enough. It has to be continuous. So we are not going to say we're going to have 5 years or 10 years. Let us do all we can within the 4 years to push football into villages and towns and the consciousness of sports-loving people in the state. We have to take young administrators along with us while we are at it, and we hope they can learn from us, see and buy into our philosophy. So while we are trying to get the players, we are trying to get the coaches, we are trying to get the referees, new young ones, with the proposed prospective referees in training program we're about. We have young coaches we are encouraging. We have young administrators we are encouraging too. And we keep selling our idea to all of them. So this does not have one day that is going to end. So it's going to be a continuous process until we start making money from it. But ours is to push it into the consciousness of our people within that 4 years that we have. Because we don't have any plan to die, as it used to be.
All right. I want to thank you for your time on the show. Hopefully we get to do this again. I wish you the best in all the things you're trying to do for the youths in your state.
Thank you very much. I really need to say this, that the finals of our under-15 football competition is tomorrow. Okay. Professor Akin Oyebode football or under-15 football competition for boys and girls. We are very, very excited, and we are happy with the support we enjoy from the media. And we want to thank those that have identified with us. They're already inviting the semi-final, the finalists. So friendly matches already all over Nigeria. All of these things we thank you all for.
All right. I got to let you go. Thank you very much. Hopefully we have this conversation some other time.
Right now.
All right. So that's it. Chairman of the Ekiti Football Association having his say, majorly talking about youth development, their plans to ensure that they just not discover these young guys, but nurture them to stardom. Is also able to highlight some of the programs that he's been involved in. All right, it's time to move on. We decided to start from home. Charity, they say, begins from home. Started to do it this way. We're going to continue with the show. I still have Ikena with me at some point. I'll be joined by Alfred Okoligbe and Austin Okon Akpan, both of them waiting in the wings to join in as we talk about everything going on in your amazing world of sports. And Ikena is with me. Let's continue from where he left off. The guys will join us. It's very important when you have plans for the youths, especially in football. A lot of focus. We had that conversation because a lot of focus is always on the guys that we see, the guys on top. But of course, if the production line is not intact, there's going to be a gap at some point.
I'm a firm believer in developing the grassroots, and I've been involved in that with the La Liga under 15, which we did some, which is still on up to now. I'm very, very happy with what I've heard from him. What they are doing in Ekiti State is very laudable. So we always say that once they start that, once they get it right young, when they are young, it will be difficult for them to shift their focus. So, and one thing I'm happy about is that it's for both male and female. So we have an opportunity of developing both football and they'll grow together. So like he's saying, they have a plan. They'll go from under 15, by next 2 years they'll be 17, and they'll move to the senior level. And he's saying, these guys that are playing under 15 might be playing for Ekiti United in next 2 years. So which is, there's a plan to it, and which is very, very, I'm very happy to hear it from him.
All right. So, that's it. All right, let's talk about the Falcons and talk about the invitational tournament they're going to play in. A list has been released for that summer series. Let's take a look at the players on that list. That list will be pruned at some point, but let's take it as it is. I'm going to quickly reel out the names of the players, and of course, Ikena will talk about it. Let's start with the goalkeepers. You have Tochukwu Oluehi, Chiamaka Nadozie, Iyene Etim. 3 goalkeepers. One of them, of course, plying her trade here. She plays for Abia Angels. 2 other are professionals. Let's take a look at the defenders on the list. Of course, Alome Ebi is there. Gloria Ogbona, Osinache Ohale. You have Oluwatosin Dimehi, Chidima Okeke. You have Abidemi Ibe and Patricia George, Esther Ogbona. And it's a mix. That's why I like this. I have a couple of players on the domestic scene and some on the foreign scene, and I'm very happy with that. So let's go to the center of the park, the midfield, engine room of any football team. Rita Chikwelu is on the list. Ngozi Okobi Ekelgene is also in there. You have Celine Ota, she's there. Alimatu Aide, Oyedupe Payne, and Amanda Mbadi, she's from Bielsa, Queens. So those are the midfielders on that squad. Let's go to the forwards. The forwards, of course, Asizat Oshoala, Super C, leads the pack of the forwards. Yeah, sure. All the accolades coming away. Vivian Ikichuku from Rivers Angels. You have Uchena Kanu. She plays in Sweden. Rashidat Ajibade with Atletico Madrid in Spain. You have Francisca Odega, also in Spain. She plays for Levante. You have Gifts Monday, FC Robo. A lot of people who watch football on the domestic scene know what Gift Monday is capable. Joy Bokiri from Bielsa Queens. Charity Adule also makes the list. She plays in Spain. She plays for one of the clubs in Spain. Right? So, Ikena, this list, I think 3 players will be dropped?
Yeah, they said 3 players will be dropped. And one thing that I'm happy about is that the coach, the Super 6, he was there all through, he watched all the games, and he made his selections. And that thing is kudos to the NFF, okay? They're going to keep the girls busy during this summer. So it's going to be, what's it called, a tour of the United States where they can play 3 games and keep in shape. So it's a fantastic one. We are looking forward to these games because they won't be part of the Olympic team. So I mean the Olympic tournament. So it's a good thing.
Very good thing. All right, so that's it. We'll come back to talk some more about the girls, but we need to go on a break right about now. When we return from that break, hopefully we'll get Austin Konakman and Alfred join us as we take a look at the rest of the things we want to talk about on the show tonight. All right, welcome back. Austin Konakman joins us now. Let's bring him in as we take a look at all the things happening in the amazing world of sports. Great to see you, Austin. Thanks for finding out time to be with us tonight.
Sports greetings, Yemi. Always a delight to be on the show.
All right, you probably heard us talking about the ladies, the squad released, and a lot of people already saying good things about the coach. He's seen a couple of games, and that reflected in my opinion, reflected. I don't know what you make of it, but I felt it reflected in this invitation handed out.
Sure, it does. Nothing like having a first-hand, view of these players, particularly when you're dealing with home-based players, whom a lot of people have been clamoring that they should be part of the team. And this is just the best way, to pick it. The Super Six in Ijebu, they provided Waldron the opportunity to sit down, not just sit down and watch those matches, but see ways that it can, make these players, from the clubs in Nigeria improve when they get to play with their foreign colleagues. I'm particularly impressed with him because you can't take away the quality of Gift Monday of FC Robo. She making that squad, is a good one. Vivian Ikechukwu of Rivers Angels, a good player. Joy Bokiri, Ashes Magel, anytime, any day of Bielsa Queens. So you could tell a mix of Rivers Angels, Edo Queens, Sunshine Queens, Bielsa Queens. Tells you that this coach, did a lot of field work, and it's just now for them to get together with the other girls, create some level of bonding, blend in their style of play, and this is the way to develop the league in Nigeria, because some of these players, when they play with Super Z, Aziza Doshola, the likes of experienced Onome B and Francisca Odega, they come back to tell stories. They dream, they aspire. That's how to achieve development. Kudos to Waldron.
All right. You feel the same way? Yeah. You feel watching those games probably reflected?
Yes, it did, because it was an opportunity for him to see the girls for the first time. And, having 4 teams, no, it was 6 teams. It was 6, watching 6 teams gave him the opportunity to select the players he selected. So it's a good one. And like I said, it's going to keep them busy in the summer. They're going to have, and going into the World Cup qualifiers, going into the African Nations Cup qualifiers, so they will know the players that will be best fit to make the team. So it's a nice one, and much is expected from him. Having with him having missed out on the Olympic tournament, so much is expected from the coach, and he has, maybe from his attitude and everything, there is a new. We are expecting something new,
something different.
So it's a good one to look forward to.
All right, good one to look forward to. All right, let's move on, and it's time to talk about the big one. It's going to happen this weekend. Aba Elephants, talking about Eyimba, have a mountain to climb. Can it be a pyramid to climb? That's a good play on words. Can it be done? Yes. How difficult it is? Very, very difficult. That's the aggregate score from the first leg. The Aba Elephants need 3 unreplied goals. That's the situation to topple pyramids and get into the semi-finals. They have to score 3 unreplied goals or win with a margin of 4 goals.
Yes, 3 unreplied goals or with a margin of 4. Yeah.
Let me go to Austin and ask Austin. I'm very sure you're probably not pleased. A lot of people are not pleased. Some of the things we talked about, schoolboy defending. I mean, you just can't. You can't. There's nothing you could say for some of those errors. I mean, there was a particular goal that 2 defenders cancelled each other out. I mean, it's laughable. Even though I don't play football, but it's laughable to see such. And I'm very sure we're going to get to that point. We got a gift early on, and we decided to. I mean, just look at this, for instance. I mean, how do you do this in a competitive game? But let me get your take, Austin, on what you think Eyimba needs to do, and hopefully we won't get to see this mix-up between defender and goalkeeper. I mean, all kinds of schoolboy errors.
Very difficult task for Coach Fatai Osha and his team, and we're beginning to, sound like a broken record each time we talk about this Aimba team. I couldn't stop laughing at him during his introduction. Talked about how it's going to be a crazy weekend in Europe. And then you reminded him that there's also Aimba because he's disappointed. And that's what it is with almost everyone supporting Aimba. When Patrick Mboma scored that goal, it was a gift. You know, they make me want to put my Nigerian spirit of analysis because you need to just take it and say, oh, well, they've made mistake at home. Get that goal, secure it. Worst that wants to happen, let it end 1-1. I've always been worried about any band they're defending. It's just so worrisome. It's channels television football team can score him back. I'm not kidding. It's so sad. Like, there's just something about when they score a goal and how they just go to sleep. And this is the quarterfinal stage. You expected them to show some level of purpose, some level of, should I say, seriousness. But just see, look at the sort of defending and the sort of goals they conceded. Now they've put themselves in a very difficult situation. And it hurts so bad because this is a team that struggled to reach where they are. And these lessons are still not sticking. So what should they do? Come and play football. Football can be very funny. It's a very crazy sport, you know, where impossible is nothing. Anything can still happen. You need to score 3 unreplied goals. The way Aimba is, and it's difficult. It's a tough call because, yeah, I didn't even expect them to qualify. You know, look at the group they came out from, but they did. So maybe they just want to keep giving us high BPs till they get to the finals. We got to see.
Okay, let's take a look at. Let me allow you to say something because it's going to be fair to allow you to say something. Just a little before we go to them.
Yeah, as a fan, I'm just optimistic. But looking at the record, the track record, they've not scored more than 2 goals at home in the competition.
And they need 3.
And they need 3. So it's going to be very difficult. It's going to be very, very difficult. But as a fan, I have to pray for the team. I have to support them. I have to be very optimistic on that day. We've seen it done before. Even during the days of Iwan National, we've seen it done before. So something it's achievable. Once they get the goal in the first 10 minutes, it's possible. It's possible.
All right. A lot of ifs. And it's very dangerous to be in a situation where you're talking about if, and if in football. Ifs mean nothing. All right, let's move on. I mean, we have to rest it at that point. I mean, Ikena has summed it up. The best we can do is to be a fan. If you're a Nigerian, and to be a fan and hope for the best, be optimistic. And if you're on this side that we are on, you just, I mean, be objective as much as you can. It's a job we have to do. All the best to Aimba. But like we always say, may the best side win on the day. The most deserving side will win. All right, let's come home now and talk about Nigeria Professional Football League. And we'll talk about match day 22. Let's take a look at the fixtures. I'll let the guys talk about it. Match day 22. Let's quickly look at it. Katsina United will take on Kano Pillars. Nasarawa United will take on Heartland. And Plateau United will take on Wiki Tourists. Rivers United will take on Abia Warriors. Aqua United will take on Rangers. Jigawa Golden Stars will be up against Dakada. We also have FC Ifeanyi against Sunshine Stars. MFM will take on Lobby Stars. Damawa United will be up against Warri Wolves. These are the fixtures for this weekend. Of course, Aimba will not be in action, and you already know the reason why. So I don't know which one of these games gets you talking. If you were going to point somebody in the direction of a game, which one of these games would you say, go and sit down, make sure you watch this game?
Aqua Rangers.
Okay.
That's the game. Because Rangers lost their last game at home to Rivers United. And traveling to you is not that far. Then Aqua United, this is the best chance to win that title, and they're going to consolidate on that on the leadership. So it's going to be a very interesting match, very, very interesting match. And when
you're already considering Aqua United as front runners.
Yes, I am. Okay, they're title contenders. There's no doubt about it. They've not lost a game in 11 or 10 games. They've not lost a game. Then when Rangers won the title in 2016, that game in New York was one of the turning points of their campaign. They won 3-2. One of the most beautiful games I've ever watched on the local scene. They won that game 3-2. So this again can be a turning point for both Aqua United and also for Rangers in their struggle to get to contenders tickets. So it's going to be a very, very interesting match. It's one of those games that will advertise our football very well.
All right. Okay, so let me get Austin's thoughts. Which one? I don't know if you're going to say anything different from what Ikena has said. The one Ikena picked will probably be my choice. I have a feeling it's probably going to be yours as well. But let me not put words into your mouth. Which game do you think you would say, sit down, watch this game on match day 22?
Ikena said it first, so let me say it again. It's Aqua United. It's Aqua United and Rangers for obvious reasons, guys. What a season Coach Kennedy Boboye and the Promise Keepers are having. Fantastic 11 games unbeaten. Well deserved to be top of the league. Players are, in good form. The spirit is good. They are beginning to believe they can win the league title. And this is a good test. Match day 22, if you're playing Rangers, and you can beat Rangers. And again, Ikena just mentioned when Rangers won the league, that defeat still hurts for Aqua United fans. So there's definitely some bad blood in there in this fixture. And the good thing is the teams would have played, and then on Monday, they now know the look and feel of the table, and then they go on to play Rangers. Rangers still also hurting from that defeat to Rivers United. So they will bring their A game to Uyo against Aqua United. It will be good to see what MFM can do when they take on Lobby Stars. Lobby Stars also beginning to get some good form. But when MFM and the way they defeated Warrior Wolves in their last match, that's some good momentum that they will need to sustain. Good to see what Katsina United can do at home against Kano Pillars. I don't know the distance. Hopefully we'll get to see Ahmed Musa playing that one again. He had a good performance against Jigawa Golden Stars, provided the Adamawa United, against Adamawa United, provided the assist for Rabiu Ali to score. So match day 22 will definitely get us talking. Unfortunately, we will not get to see Kano Aimba because they are playing the continent, take on Kwara United. Kwara United, they are also a team we need to look at closely. So let's just hope that they will still be in that fine mood when they get to play Aimba. So that's about it for me and this weekend fixtures.
Quick one, Austin. I need a quick response for this. Your front runners. It's after. Are you going to wait till after match day 22, or from this point you could say these two teams, 2 or 3, they're likely going to win the league? Front runners.
It's difficult. If you look at the league table, it's very difficult. And that's what makes the MPFL very competitive. But Aqua United, they're beginning to show like they want something. Kwara United, the way they are playing, they've still not lost a game at home. You need to underrate that team at your own peril. Rangers can still aspire. Rivers Angels, they are playing. The Rivers United, they are also playing well. Aimba, with the number of games that they still need to come play, you cannot push them away. So it's too early. Maybe from match day 25, we can start talking.
All right. Thank you for that, Austin. You want to put anybody in the mix with Aqua as your front runners?
Well, it depends on. Let's see how Enyimba probably, sorry to say.
If they're out of, if they're done with the distraction of the CAF Competition Cup.
It's not easy being a fan.
I know. It's not easy.
Okay, when they complete their games, we'll know. But Aqua United is in that mix. That is the, and when before a league starts, some of these teams they have a drawing board of where they can pick points. And for Aqua United picking 1 point in Aba, that means they probably pick 3 in Uyo. That settles it. So Aqua United is in that means probably Rivers United. That win in Enugu has given them the much needed thing to move on.
All right, let's leave it at that. Let's take a step down and talk about the Nigeria National League. Of course, Austin and Ikena would talk about the fixtures. But I want to reel out the fixtures quickly, as fast as I can. We'll go through the divisions. We'll look at the fixtures. It's getting interesting. A lot of people are talking about Group B1. But let's start with Division A2 as you have it on your screen. Shekarao Babes will take on Malum Fashi. DMD will take on Kemi United. Road Safety will take on Yobe Desert Stars. Niger Tornadoes will take on Safra United. ABS, that's Abubakar Bukola Saraki Babes, will take on Kogi United. That all of those fixtures are match day 12 in Division A2. We'll flip and go back to A1. Green Berets will take on FC Taraba. Gombe United will take on El Kanemi Warriors. In times past, this was a game that usually played in the top flight. Sokoto United will take on NAF Rockets. And Rara will take on Oya Sports. These are March day 15 in A1. Okay, B1, where the action is. You have Calabar Rovers will be up against Osun United. Van Dressa will take on Goran. We'll remember the drama the last time out. And so a lot of people have their fingers crossed and they're sitting back to see what's going to happen in this one. Delta Force will take on Dynamo Force. Have Ekiti United will take on Giant Brillers. Newi United will take on Stationery Stores. Nilayo FC will take on 3SC, that's Shooting Stars. Some people in Ibadan are already saying, oh, shooting. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Group B2, Julius Atete will take on Red Mall Stars. Crown FC will take on Ibom Youth. Bendel Insurance will take on Godoski. Oli Arrows will take on Abia Comets. Gateway United will be up against Bielsa United. Joy Comet will be up against FC1 Rocket. FC1 Rocket. These are the fixtures in the NNL, Nigeria National League, for this weekend. I know B1 division, that division gets a lot of people talking, and
a lot of controversy.
I'm very sure you have a thing or two to say.
Well, Stars got a win against Van Dresa last week, which was huge for them. But Van Dresa, if they don't turn the table, they are in a very dire situation.
I think all that is left for Van Dresa is just to maintain their status.
Maintain their status. That's their aim.
That's the aim.
I don't think that they have the promotion going to the Super
drive.
has gone away from them. So they should just maintain get a win against Goran. That's what everybody is looking out for. So, but Shooting Stars, I think they are good to go.
Okay. All right. That's why I said some people in the battle.
They're excited. And their stadium is shaping up for for the Premier League. So
all right.
They are good to go.
Yeah. All right. So getting back to the top flight has never been the problem of 3SC. Staying there.
Yes.
Is the problem.
They're what they call it the yo-yo club.
they know how to get back.
Yeah.
We'll see. I don't know if... Okay, let's quickly move on. And we're done with what's going to happen in that. So let's quickly take a look at big games in Europe. We'll travel to Europe now. And that's Austin's backyard. We'll look at what of the things going on. Let's see some of the games we've decided to highlight. Aston Villa against Chelsea. Leicester City against Tottenham Hotspur, Liverpool against Crystal Palace. And you know why these three fixtures are up there. Let me go to Austin quickly. Depending on what happens in all of these three places, you never can tell. Leicester City not out of it if some of the other clubs decide to do them a favor. But of the three that are seeking to play in the Champions League, Chelsea maybe have an easier job, not an easy job, easier job of the three.
Well, but it's difficult because Aston Villa, you know, they've shown this season that they can, you know, produce those results that you expect. You know, ask us now, you understand what I'm talking about.
I do.
So yeah, it's going to be a very difficult game for Chelsea. But let's see the final day of the season. I think that game between Leicester City and Tottenham will end in a draw. Leicester, you know, for some reasons that only them can explain, find themselves in this difficult situation. Liverpool is definitely going to beat Crystal Palace, and I think they're going to end in the top four.
Okay. All right. Ikena, quickly before we go to Spain.
Wow, I have to cheer Leicester on. It's not over until it's over. They need that Champions League. They missed it out last season. They're going to miss it out if they're not careful. I think, well, let's hope that one of those teams will just slip up. Okay. Probably Liverpool.
All right, so let's see if one of those teams will slip up. Let's go to Spain quickly before we go on a break. Let's go to Spain. Let's see what's going to happen in Spain. It's still between the Madrid teams, Real Madrid and Atletico. Anything can still happen. Some feel Atletico have a hand on the trophy already, but we all know strange things happen in football. Real Valladolid will take on Atletico Madrid, and Real Madrid will be up against Villarreal. So, where do you think the pendulum will swing in favor of Atletico, you think?
My mind tells me Atletico. my head tells me Real Madrid. Atletico have a history of bottling these things up.
Okay.
But I think this weekend they might get it. They're in tough speed and in tough shape.
All right, they might get it. 7 years ago, they were champions in La Liga.
This will be Simeone's 8th title.
Okay,
in 10 years.
We'll see. We'll see. All right. So let's go on a break. When we return from that break, we'll talk about the Olympics, and of course, we'll touch up on the Italian league as well. Get the thoughts of Austin and of course Ikena. All right, welcome back. Well, a couple of tweets here, and I think it's only fair that I read one or two. All right. From Henry Jr. says, is there a reason Desire Paranoze was omitted from the Super Falcons list? I think the only person that can answer that question is Coach around the wardroom. But as journalists, we'll do our job. If there's an opportunity to interview, we'll ask him, is there a reason why Desire Paranoze is not on that list? Why was she not on the plane? Will she not be on the plane to the United States? We'll ask that question. Let me go to Austin quickly, in a few seconds quickly, because we're pressed for time. Austin, and I know you're still with us, Spanish League. Where's it going? The La Liga title.
Atletico Madrid deserves to win it, and that's simply because they've worked so hard, and it will just be painful if they get to blow it this time around. Real Madrid and Barcelona didn't show the sort of commitment that you'd expect from top teams that they are. So Atletico Madrid just need to go out there and just seal it, and just give Diego Simeone and the board some reasons to smile. They deserve to win the league title here.
Yeah, I agree with you. All right, let's move on. Let's just quickly show our viewers Italy, Juventus. They're usually not in this kind of situation, but they're struggling. They're struggling. They want to be in the Champions League spot. Let's see what it's going to look like in the Serie A. Very sure it's going to come up on your screen. That's it. Atalanta, AC Milan, Napoli, Verona, Bologna, and Juventus. Their destiny not in their hands. I think they still need a favor or two from...
Yeah, they need a favor from... They need to win Atlanta. That's if they do that, then...
I'm talking of Juve.
Yeah, Juve. No, okay, Juve. Juve need AC Milan Atlanta to win AC Milan.
Okay, and they win their own game.
Yeah, but whatever the conversation is, Napoli is there because they're in hot form.
All right.
They're going to be in the Champions League.
Okay. All right. Let's leave it at that for now. Let's quickly go on. Our last port of call is the Olympics. And let's just quickly tell you, it's 63 days to the biggest sporting event from where we stand. 63 days. I want to say that again. Just barely 2 months. That's it. Barely 2 months. 63 days to the Tokyo Olympics. Let's just quickly show you the torch relay making the rounds. As of now, it's covered 27 prefectures, and it shows that it's making its rounds, and we're going to have the Olympics. The torch relay has started its 2-day visit to the Tottori prefecture and is moving around. The crowds returned for this one. In those other places, the crowds were not allowed to be there, but for this one, they did. Indeed, they returned, and of course, this is what we love to see. COVID-19 has not been allowing us to see all of this. But there's been this question about who really can cancel the Olympics. That's an option a lot of people still want to be on the table. But now an expert is saying even Japan cannot cancel the Olympics. It's only the IOC that can cancel the Olympics. And of course, I want to bring that to you. Just listen to that clarification. For a lot of people calling on Japan to do that, Japan can actually not do that. It's the IOC that can. Let's listen to that. We'll come back to wrap things up on the show.
According to the Olympic Charter, as well as to the host city contract, since the IOC is the owner of the Olympic Games are an exclusive property of the IOC. It's up for the IOC and only for the IOC to terminate the contract, to cancel the event, to withdraw the organization of the event. Yeah.
All right, that's it. A lot of people calling on Japan should stop. Call on the IOC. Let me go to Austin as I allow him have his final words on the show. We're pressed for time. We're about to go. So, Austin, it's not Japan's call after all. It's the IOC. Maybe you can put a call to them. But your final words before we allow you to go on the show tonight.
It will be good to have the Olympics, but yeah, it's a contract between the International Olympic Committee and, of course, the host city.
Okay.
It's the host city that will suffer, right. So they also have a say.
Okay. All right. Austin, I want to thank you for your time. We'll do this again next week.
Thank you so much, Yemi, for having me on the show. Thank you.
All right. Ikenna, now we know. Yeah. It's IOC that can put the plug. It appears they wouldn't.
All the petitions, all the signatures, IOC has the right.
And they wouldn't.
They wouldn't.
It appears they wouldn't.
It has to go on.
All right. Ikenna, I want to thank you for your time on the show.
Thank you very much.
All right. I would also thank you for allowing us to be a part of your day today. This is the last edition of the show for the week. We'll be back here again next week. Enjoy the rest of your day and the weekend by extension. We'll be back here again next week. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Bye-bye now.